Welcome to another edition of Sprout Central. If you watched the show last week, we had Robert Deming III on. He's a city councilman and he's an attorney. And I think the most important takeaway from that show is that leaders are good listeners. A great leader is a good listener. So thank you for being on the show, Robert. We're still doing our Sprout Garden thing, and I want to talk to you about that. If you're an inventor, if you have a great idea, if you watched the show last season, and you wrote your business plan, we want you to write the show. We want you to write in, or we want you to give us a call, and we want to have you on the show. We want you to join the Sprout Garden. What we're doing is we're helping take people who have great ideas and turning that idea into a business or an income stream, and we're going to fund businesses right here on the show. We're going to help people get their funding, and we're going to have a contest to where the contestants all compete for the big funding at the end, and that's going to be called the Sprout Garden. So I want you to watch along this season as we have contestants in and business people in to be on the Sprout Garden. So, you know, Sprout Central is a show about community, and our tagline we always talk about is we help you take your dreams and build a community. One of the great things about our community, besides great leaders, are great teachers. And today we have a special guest. We have author and teacher and mentor Rickey Lewis on the show. And there's his picture. He's got the self-directed shift. And he's going to help me make a better TV show and have a better business. And I want you to watch this show today. If you're thinking about being in business or you need help taking that first step, call your friends, call your neighbors, tell them to watch this edition of Sprout Central. And we'll be right back after this.
Edward St. Pé with Nathan Prescott from Law Focus. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Law Focus, we have it every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and then again a repeat performance at 6 p.m.
Sure.
So tell us, what is Law Focus all about?
Well, Law Focus is sort of self-explanatory, and it is a show focused on the law, but an ancillary sort of arm to that is that Law Focus involves the law in you. It involves how the law affects your day-to-day life. Through the shows, we've addressed the Landlord-Tenant Act, we've addressed trademarks, copyrights, constitutionality of issues, criminal issues, and even current events that exist in the law with different types of things that come up. So anything that involves the law and affects you is fair game for Law Focus, and we're proud of that. We try to put out new product a good bit.
Well, it's a situation that affects everyone. The law affects everybody, and we're happy to have this program. Thank you for being with us every week on Law Focus. That's Law Focus every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
Welcome back, folks. Once again, Joey's not here, but I couldn't be more grateful that we have Mr. 100% Connor Snyder as our guest co-host once again. Connor?
And I couldn't be more grateful to be here, Dennis. So,
man, it's great to have you on the show. I appreciate you taking your time out of all the hard work that you're doing for Sprout and for the street team to come in and make the show with us and things like that. So, tell us what's going on in the market. What are we doing today?
well, actually, Dennis, the past week, I watched our video from last weekend, and it inspired me. Our segment about unity and working together as a team, and how that somebody is dividing us out there, but we don't know that catalyst. So I did a little digging about something that I remembered from my first grade class.
Oh, from first grade.
First grade, actually, yes. And they were teaching us the principles in first grade. They were in front of us all along. And the video is Sneetches. These Sneetches from Dr. Seuss. Are you familiar?
The Sneetches, I've heard of that. I think,
yeah, most people have seen it before.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was a Dr. Seuss one. Didn't they make like green eggs and ham? And the guy, was that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
No, I don't think it was green eggs and ham. They do something. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, not the Sneetches, no.
But Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Seuss
does green eggs and ham.
Absolutely. So, with the Sneetches, the Sneetches are almost like a a race of this person. Well, there's a species, I guess you would say, and there's two different races. Well, one is a star-bellied.
Yeah.
This is the star-bellied sneetch, and the other one is the sneetch with no star.
So they're different because one of them has a star and one of them doesn't.
Well, anatomically and anatomically.
There you go.
Everything is the same about them except the visual star.
Right.
Just cosmetic appearance. But as you can see, they look better. They look more confident. They look more happy. Their hair is standing up. They're more relaxed. But when a sneetch that doesn't have a star comes around, they get hesitant to.
Oh, the sneetches with the star, they're not in the club. They're not.
They're absolutely not in the club. They think they're better than everyone because they have that star.
So there we had two sneetches with a star, and one of them left. One of them showed up without a star, and all the star sneetches left. They were like discriminating against each other.
Exactly, because there was only a few group with the stars, so that few group felt that they were above all because of their genetic
because they're
mutation.
the best ones
Exactly.
because of the star. So then what happens in the story, though?
Well, after the regular plain-bellied sneetches get fed up, well, they've been fed up for a while, obviously. Most of them are depressed, and they've been living like that for a while now. So this guy, Sylvester McMoney McPhee, comes in, and
Sylvester McMoney McPhee.
Make Money McPhee, exactly.
McPhee.
So he brings this contraption called the, it's actually, at first he starts off with a star-on machine.
Yeah, let's put up the star-on machine one, Clarence, and
yeah, perfect, right here. So he starts off with a star-on machine, and he gives everyone a star on. Well, all the previous stars, ones with the stars, they're not special anymore because everyone has a star.
So he's coming in, giving everybody a star. So the ones that feel bad, now they feel better about themselves because they paid money
$3
to have a star put on.
To have a star put on, exactly. Well, now the original star owners, they had a meeting to do something about this because they can't distinguish who is nobility and who's not.
We don't know who's better than each other.
Exactly.
So
everyone looks the same. I mean, everyone has the same confidence level now because they have the star.
I have a great idea. Let's spend some money and make it better. Is that what they do?
Exactly. They go for the star off machine, which Sylvester is Make Money McPhee. He's going to have the solution for that. So right here, you have both of the star on machine and the star off machine running in a figure-8 motion. They are running in and out,
like
paying $3 to get it on.
Infinity symbol. When it's in motion, I saw that it's like the infinity symbol. It never ends.
Exactly. $3 to get it on. They see other people with it on, and everyone has it on. Well, they're going through the machine to get it off. $10 to get it off. Every time they keep doing this, they're losing money. The house always wins.
Right. The house always wins. That's a good point.
The one in charge is making the money. Sylvester McMoney McPhee. So at the end of the story, it ends with quite a few different mutations this time. Well, some of them have 3, some of them have 2 now. Some have 1, and some of them have none. And at the end, they're all broke. They have different levels of stars now, but all of them have the same poverty level now.
So what we had is the guy come into town and fix the problem by giving the non-star people a star. Now, whoa, everybody's the same, and he collects a bunch of money. Then the star people get mad. They want their star off so that they can feel better than them. Then the no star people are now the good people. It kind of reversed roles.
And at the end,
he left town with all the money.
Yeah, and they realized that they got scammed. Well, he thought he was going to come back and scam them again, but at the end, the Sneetches learned, I guess, after all of their money was depleted, that was just cosmetic.
All right, folks. Before all of your money is depleted, don't get the star put on. Don't get the star taken off. Here's what we do at Sprout Central. We love our neighbors. We've talked about this before. All ships rise with the tide. And hey, the only thing that we judge people by, like we've heard before, is the content of their character. When we're looking at people to help, we look at people that are willing to work hard. When Connor first met me, he was willing to work hard, and I was willing to help him. And now he's the guest co-host on Sprout Central. And we have a lot of other people that we mentor. We have a lot of people that we try to teach. You remember we had Vince on the show last season, the Lemonade Kid. He's going to be back on the show, I think, next week, Connor. Vince, did you talk to Vince at all?
I haven't talked to him yet, but I think the plan was to have him on next week.
Next week, you know, they moved out of town. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess the big message, thank you for producing that segment, Connor. You know, we're live from beautiful downtown Ocean Springs, so we're just putting this information out there for our community. But the message is what? That we're not really that different.
We're not. We're not.
And so when people come in to try, if you see it happening right now in the world, people want you to be divided. The reason is because there has to be a sense of urgency, so you'll donate. But you notice when you sign that petition, suddenly, because there's a big problem, suddenly you start getting requests to donate. So I think the common message that we keep putting out there from Sprout Central is that hey, you know, we take your dreams and help build a community, and the root word of community is unity.
Exactly.
So as long as we work together, then we can achieve our goals. But we have to work together, and we don't need the media dividing us. I tell everybody this: once Sprout Central's over, turn your TV off and go outside and enjoy the beautiful day in Ocean Springs.
Exactly.
Connor, we have a couple of minutes left. You want to talk about anything? We're given our guest has so much knowledge. We're going to cut your segment short and have him on a little longer this time. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but that's okay. I just wanted to talk real quick on the Sneetches thing.
Yeah.
And about the confidence level of each one. When the stars were in, the people with the stars, their confidence level was so much higher.
Right.
When stars were out, the people without the stars, their confidence level was much higher.
Right.
Well, if they realize that it doesn't matter at all, these are just invisible walls,
right,
invisible boundaries, and it means nothing, you know?
Okay. So we're about to wrap up this segment. Do you want to stick around when author Rickey Lewis comes on?
Absolutely.
You know him. You've been
Absolutely.
to his, and help us talk to him?
I went to his class twice so far, so absolutely.
Okay. Well, stick around, and we'll be right back with author Rickey Lewis right after this message. Thank you.
Paran's Jambalaya Kitchen. Homemade Cajun dishes for takeout, curbside pickup, or home delivery. Call 228-207-2821. We serve offices, we cater, and we serve hungry families. From jambalaya and pastalaya to cracklins and boudin. Especially appealing, our wonderful and legendary pecan pie. That's Paran's. Call 228-207-2821.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
Okay, welcome back to Sprout Central. We're really happy to have author, coach, mentor, teacher, professional athlete, Rickey Lewis on the show today. Rickey, welcome to the Sprout Central.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
We got this book here. It says, success is more about the journey than the end result.
It is.
Isn't that true?
It is. It is. And, you know, all of us are on a journey in life, you know, and the way we look at it, the way we perceive it, you know, that ultimately tells us, you know, where we lie in that realm of happiness. And that's the ultimate goal of all of us, I believe, is to be happy. And the way we find our happiness is finding the right journeys. You know, and I've been on a bunch of journeys in my life, and, you know, I kind of want to share some of those things with people, you know.
So, journey, that's just what happens to you every day during, in the course of your life, your journey, right?
Right,
The
but
decisions you make, the goals you set for yourself.
right, and it's what happens to us every day in our life. But there's two different types of journeys. I think one is like a dead fish floating down the stream. You know, we just go wherever the water takes us, and that's not really the journey that we want to have. We want to be like the salmon that goes against the current and goes to a specific spot. You know, that's the kind of journey we need to have. And even if we don't get to that spot, but fighting the currents and going, you know, in that direction, you know,
Right.
Having a end result in mind, that gives us fulfillment. Like we're going somewhere. There's something out there for us, you know, versus just going wherever the wind takes us, wherever the water pushes us around, you know.
That's right. To choose your. So
Choose.
the self. That's the title of your book, The Self-Directed Shift.
The self-directed shift.
So why did you write this book?
Well, initially, because I'm a goal-oriented person. Initially, when I was about 9 years old, I decided I wanted to write a book, and that was because I went to assembly at my elementary school, and there was a book that they presented to all of us at the elementary school, and they said it was written by a third grader, and it just blew my mind that a third grader wrote and illustrated a book, and I said to myself, one day I'm going to write a book, and that has been on my mind for all of these years, that I'm going to write a book. And then after I've, you know, went through all of my journeys, you know, the professional baseball and, you know, college, you know, all the things that I went through in my life, you know, some of those goals start coming to my mind, like, you know, some of the things that I really wanted to accomplish. And I got into personal development, and I said, it's time to write my book. It's time to do what's inside of me, you know, and, you know, I knew I couldn't die. I couldn't leave this world without at least bringing one book out of me. So.
Well, you know, I've heard a lot of good things about this book, and I also heard that you use it. You're a teacher at
Yes.
at Pass Christian High School.
Yes,
right?
I am.
And do you teach this book in your classes?
It's one of the resources that we use. This book was actually developed during the production of the class itself, like during the formation of the class. See, what happened was some years ago, you know, administrators asked me, what did I want to teach? You know, what is it that I was inspired to do, to teach, to give to those kids? And I said, I want to teach them something that they can use now and for the rest of their life. I want something that's so relevant that when they walk in my class, they're tuned in, because it has a direct impact on their lives now and for the rest of their lives. And so it ultimately became personal development. It's success. Like, how do you be successful? Like, we've figured out a way how to be successful academically. You know, we got a lot of accolades. We do really well. We got some of the brightest young people come through. I'm fortunate that I'm part of a team of excellent educators, some of the best in the country, you know, and we do really well with helping our kids succeed academically. But what I was seeing is years later that some of those kids weren't, the correlation between their academic success and their success in life wasn't matching up. Like, this kid was super smart. This kid had everything going. Why is they not succeeding in life? And it's because we haven't necessarily been teaching success principles just in general. So I said to myself, and I thought, what did I need when I was a kid is someone to teach me how to be successful no matter what it is we're going through, no matter what we got going on in life. If you're armed with the principles of success, because they are forever, you know, facts change, but principles are forever. If you're armed with those principles, you could be successful in any area. Anything you set your mind to, you can achieve it. But if you only are armed with the academics, you only can be successful academically. But trying to help people be successful in life, period.
So many students have gone through school, and I know some highly intelligent people too that have gone through school. Mm-hmm. They've gone through the academics, but now they're stuck. And a lot of people also have written their business plan, but they're stuck on, you know, what do we do now? And I'm trying to tell people, just take the first step, change your life. What are some solid tips for those people that didn't get to take your class?
Well,
and right now they're stuck at home. They're maybe they're busy playing video games or spending time where they shouldn't be, and not successful in life. Maybe they're feeling bad.
One of the things that I tell people all the time, one of the things that I talk about every day, I teach in my class, and even when I'm just talking to people in general out in the public is that little things done consistently over a long period of time ends up being something big. And that comes from Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge. That's one of the first principles or concepts that I learned and I grasped. It's like, I don't have to do something big. All I have to do something is something small, minute, but do it consistently over a long period of time, and it ends up being something big. And basically, that's how I ended up writing the book, because I wasn't a writer, I wasn't even a reader, but taking that principle, taking that concept of doing something small but doing it every day, I applied that in my life to writing this book. So every day I wrote one page. And I did that for 2 years, and I had 700 something pages, and then I narrowed it down after that, and I went through the whole process of putting it together and making it into a book form. But there's no way I could have just sat down and wrote a 300-page book straight out. I would have burnt out. It's too big of a task. And for most of us, success looks too big. So if we break it down, so what I'd like to say to the audience, to people out there, is like, just do the little thing. But do the little thing consistently, and then over a period of time, it's going to end up being something big. And you can apply that to anything you want to do in your life.
So take the first step. That's probably the most important thing you can do.
Take the first step.
Every journey begins with the first step. So if you're stuck and you're trying to do something different with your life, or you have a goal that you want to reach, take the first step. And then take it one bite at a time.
That's it. How do you eat an elephant?
Right. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time. You know. So yeah, just take that step, and no matter whether you are taking the step in the right direction or you don't know, like just move. Nothing can happen with you standing still. Just move. Just go in that direction. You know, look somewhere down the road. You know, I teach these principles that they're not new. You know, they're not new. They're principles that are new to me, or newly discovered to me. And it's like, oh my goodness, I would have had this years ago. And, you know, delayed gratification, long-term vision, the power of compounding, you know, looking further down the road than you are today. Like, there's so many things that some people are not privy to. They don't, because their parents maybe didn't teach it to them. Their teachers didn't teach it to them. So they're kind of oblivious to what it takes to be successful. But if you employ the right people, employ the right materials, you know, you find the right information, man, the sky's the limit for everyone.
So I'm looking in here, and this is something that Connor pointed out to me that I really like. It's got kind of a chart, and I don't know, we won't be able to see it on the screen, but it shows the lifespan of a person, and that's the bottom line. And then there's the natural path of growth. Right. And that's if you just get up every day and turn on the TV and make the coffee and just do the same things every day naturally, and get a job. But then there's the self-directed growth line, and I noticed that line's going almost straight up.
So what it is, and that's the concept behind the whole book, and it's something that I was trying to explain. I'm trying to teach it to different people and say, it's like, what is it? And a friend of mine said, teach it to me like I'm a 2-year-old. How can I understand what you're saying? I say, well, basically, like you said, the lifespan. You know, there's a natural path of growth. We're all born naked in this world, and every year, you know, we get better. We learn to crawl, then we learn to walk, then to run, and you know, we just get better at just about everything. You know, for the most part, just a natural experience of life just kind of makes us a little bit better than we were the day before. But that's the natural path that everybody is on. And at any point, if you want to have a shift, if you want to have some exponential growth, all you have to do is start a self-directed education. And what a self-directed education is you take any topic. It can be relationships, it could be finances, it could be your faith, it could be in basket weaving, it could be in anything. You say, you know what, I'm going to become an expert at that. I'm going to learn everything I can about that. So what do? You start reading books on that topic. You start watching YouTube videos. You get a mentor, someone who's further down the road than you that in that particular area that's good in that particular field, and you learn from them. You know, you visit with people. You know, you iron sharpen iron. You get involved with people who are in that particular arena that you want to be good at. Then all of a sudden, your growth shifts off of that natural path of growth, and all of a sudden down the road, little things done consistently over a long period of time, that growth is exponential. Now all of a sudden, people look at you like you're an expert, or you've swallowed some magic pill or something. No, you just started a self-directed education in that particular area, and you've created a self-directed shift to where now the fruit coming off of your tree is much more ripe and plentiful, and that's the concept of the growth by just the choices and decisions to be better than you are naturally.
Right. So if you're stuck, whatever it is, maybe you went through high school and college and you're not employed the way you want to be, or whatever it is, if you're stuck, change a habit, start educating yourself.
That's it.
Set a goal, then start learning about that goal. And we talked to Connor, the guest co-host, he trades on the stock market.
Right.
He taught himself how to do that. And we're
Right.
going to have a guest on next week. We have a new camera guy. I think he might have been one of your students too. A lot of good people coming out of Pass Christian.
It's a lot of good people, man. I have
secret coast.
I'm super excited about the growth coming out of Pass Christian High School. It's not me, it's the culture, for one.
Right.
And it's the kids' willingness to grow and to learn, because they see a future that's possibly better than the one that they've been looking at before. They see the potential for their own success. They see the potential to thrive and have everything they want. When I was a kid, people said you can be anything, you can do anything, and I believed it.
Right, me too.
So I was told when I was 7, 8 years old I could be a professional baseball player, and I just believed it. And a lot of kids, I was never the most talented. I was never the best on any team I played, but I believed it. And so it started with that faith. It started with that belief system that I can do and be anything. So when it comes to writing books, when it comes to opening businesses, my entrepreneur stuff, I just have this faith that if I want it, I can achieve it. So what's happening is a lot of us start not pushing the faith and the belief system into the young people and into others. So they don't believe necessarily. They may say they want something. So what we are doing, in my school system, my teaching, in my community, is we speak positive into people. We are trying to be a force for good. We are letting children, letting young people, adults know that whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to be, you can be. And we are behind you 100%. We want to develop the faith system of young people so that they take over.
So faith in themselves,
right.
Belief in themselves,
right.
That no matter what their goal is, that if they work toward it, if they educate themselves, then they can achieve that goal.
Anything, and you don't have to be like the smartest.
But for some people, it's too late. It's too late for them.
Oh no,
it's too late.
It's never too late. I mean,
Good.
Colonel Sanders, he started selling chicken at 65 years old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this was back when the lifespan was about 72, I think. The average of people was 72. And he started selling chicken at 65. And now look, KFC's everywhere. You're never too old. And we practice, getting rid of excuses, the disease of excuse-itis. You're never too old or too young. You're never too this or too that. There's so many things that people accept that you don't have to accept any of it. You get what you expect. And when we teach people to expect the best, expect the most, that's what you're going to get. So that's what we're doing, is we're trying to be a force for
good. Okay, we're
good.
wrapping it up right now. Clarence is telling me we got 30 seconds. Ricky, you have to come back on the show. You've been the best guest so far for the purpose of this show, is to help people. To change your life. If you're not happy, if you are happy, if you have a goal and you want to reach that goal, watch Sprout Central every Tuesday at 10 o'clock and 5:30. And we're going to help you change your life. Every show, we're going to help you take your dreams and build a community. See you next week.
Well, there's such a French influence in this whole area because of
French, Southern, and Cajun. It's all right here.
The French discovered the area.
That's
right?
correct.
But I remember growing up, my daddy spoke French.
Yeah.
So when we would go to see my grandmother, and my daddy was the youngest of 10 children, okay, so when we would go to my grandma's house across the river there in Hawnville area, right, and we would get there, immediately his mom and dad, who were very old, even when I was a little boy, immediately started talking French.
That's
yeah,
all
it was
they
all
spoke.
French. And
So my dad would start talking in French, and nobody else knew what was going on, but they were speaking in French.